not a lot of points and not a lot of stops at all. Really, just a bad half for the Railers. And thank goodness we were up 10 at half, or this game would be over and we'd be putting one in the L column.
Starters back on the floor for the Railers. The tip is won by Block, who tips it to Cook. And now the Railers will have the first shot here in overtime.
Yeah, matchup zone now for Jacksonville. So throwing a little bit of a different wrinkle at the Railers. So let's see if the Railers can get another basket. You know, those layups, those missed layups won by Bowlby and will come up hard in an overtime game.
Bowlby in the corner. Dribbles back out now to Max. Underneath to Edward. Edward fires a high arcing three. That's off the rim, no good. Crimson's there for the rebound. Andy Jackson comes out with it. So now Jackson into the front court for the Crimsons, ahead to Peak.
Yeah, he's got 4 fouls too, so if he gets it inside, let's see if Gavin can draw another charge on him.
Peak over to Jackson. Inside to Hance. Marlowe thought about it, didn't take it, hands off to Dugan.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to really looking at threes other than Dugan because they don't shoot a lot, they don't make a lot, and especially in an overtime game, they don't want to take any inadvertent shots.
2:45 left in overtime. I'd say the first overtime, but our producer back at the station would probably be upset with me. And then Gavin's going to foul out of the game as Peak drives the lane. He missed it, but Gavin fouls out.
Yeah, Peak just a player that has it in his mind. He doesn't shoot it well from the outside, but he's going to get to the basket, and that's really what has caused a lot of foul trouble for the Railers tonight is guys wearing the red uniform just putting their head down and going to the hoop.
Peak's free throw up and good. Jacksonville takes the lead. Their first lead since they were ahead 20-19. Second one, that one looks long. Rebound comes down to the Railers. 42-41, 2.5 to go. Railers down by a point. Austin Cruz in for the fouled out Gavin Block. Austin almost lost that one out of bounds. Over to Cook in the corner. Podbelsic, three. Big three from Little.
He likes that corner too tonight. Deep in the corner by the toward the student section.
Peak's going to drive in, and he's going to go to the line shooting 2. And let's see who that one's going to be whistled on.
Bowlby.
So now Edward has picked up his 4th.
Yeah, the Railers got to do a better job of just getting in front of Peak and stopping him from the drive.
Peak's first free throw on the way. That's good. If he hits this one, we'll be tied again. 44-43. And now tied at 44. Approaching the halfway mark here in our first overtime. Right where we started, tied. Podbelsic works it around the perimeter. Cook now to Horsham. Cruz on the baseline, back out to Max. Max with 1 3 here tonight. Horsham, a long 3. That's no good. Crashing the board is Jacksonville, and Peak and Hance. Too many people in the same spot as they knocked each other and lost the ball out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Railers.
Yeah, we're going to set it up here and get it back in. Not necessarily a play you want to score on, but get it out and set up the offense again.
1.5 to go. So at what point, Josh, do you start looking? We're going to hold for the last one.
Well, you'd like to try if you can. They're playing a matchup zone, and they're really not putting a lot of pressure on Max right now. So if he can sit out there and hold it, we'll hold it. Tie ball game, and we'll take the last second shot.
Podbelsic watched by Dugan. Will brings a dribble out near the timeline. A big 3 earlier to put the Railers on top. 2 free throws from Josh Peak, tied it at 44. That's where we stand now as the clock hits 1 minute here at Roy S. Anderson in overtime.
Yeah, they're not putting a lot of pressure, just enough to give you a 5 count or something like that. So the Railers got to keep moving it, but just be strong with it.
Max got to watch it as Barlow went down, trying to draw the foul from Max. Down to 40 seconds. The hand over to Podbelsic. Cross court to Max. Again, the Railers looking to go to 6-1 on the season. They're going to have to do some overtime work to get it done here tonight.
Yeah, can the Railers, one of the Railers in white hit a big shot here.
Well, all night it's been big shot Will, so Max almost thrown away into the hands of Podbelsic. Nice catch by Will.
Yeah, great catch.
15 seconds to go. And it looks like they've isolated, trying to get Max ready to go. Down to Bowlby. 8 seconds. Cruz coming around the corner. Here comes Podbelsic. Frees himself. Tried to fire a three. Lost it. Ball picked up, and a timeout is going to be taken by Jacksonville with .8 to go. And now the officials, I think, are going to talk and see how much time was left on the clock. I think it was 2 seconds when he called it.
Yeah, I don't know how you can tell that. If you're doing if you're a ref and you're doing your job as far as looking on the court, how can you tell what the clock was without instant replay?
Well, and you know the interesting thing is when our former broadcast partner Tom Larry would say, when it's questions about time, unless you know, you can't do anything about it.
And I don't know. It looks like they're going to.
Well, they put 2:06 on here. I think they probably mean 2.6. That would be my guess. I know it's not 20.6. That's not right. I would like to think they're not going to give him 20.6 now. It looks like it's going to be at 2.6.
Man, how do you know that? I just don't understand. If you're a ref and you're watching the game like you're supposed to be, as soon as that whistle blows, I mean, I guess you can look up and get an eye, but without instant replay, it's hard to go back and change the time in high school basketball.
So the Railers have certainly had their opportunities at the end of regulation and in overtime, but now with 2.6, they're going to have to play some pretty good defense to try and maybe force another overtime, because you got to watch the big guys down low. You got to watch Hans and you got to watch Peak.
Yeah, they're going to go and they're going to probably try and throw it into Peak here. They landed that last time for out, but Peak's going to come and get it this time.
Hamilton goes through his hands, into the hands of Hans, who throws it up and in at the buzzer, and this game is over. Jacksonville with a buzzer beater to get this one, a final score of 46-44. Josh, the ball went right through Peak's hands, and it ended up in Hans's hands, who just flipped it up at the basket. It went in as the buzzer sounded, and Jacksonville comes away with a 2-point overtime victory. And you got to believe the coaching staff for the Railers certainly upset at the way this one went, but obviously they needed every tenth of that 2.6 seconds.
Yeah, they gave it back to them.